Hey ladies. All right, so we are entering into a new homeschool year. And so I was thinking about like what kind of video I want to do. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to sit down in front of the camera, woman to woman, and we were just going to talk about homeschool. And I'm just going to let the Holy Ghost guide me. And I just had finished doing an interview with Coach Carol. It comes out later this week, so I hope you check that out. I, of course, link it when it comes out. And she had asked me about how the work with her had helped my homeschool. And I started thinking about how all the work I've done around my mindset has really helped me to enter into this homeschool year. This is our 4th year at the CMUC. This is my 10th year homeschooling. My daughter's going into 9th grade and started in kindergarten, right? So 10th year homeschooling. Every year has been so different. And yet this year is the most peace. I have had the most peace this year. And I think a lot of it has to do with my commitment to, one, staying regulated, and 2, capturing my thoughts. So my automatic thoughts are things such as, this is going to be too hard, this is not going to be a good day, Neil's going to get dysregulated, Chloe's going to cry over math, I'm not going to want to wake up early enough, our schedule's not going to work out, or, and on and on and on. And all those thoughts turn into then what ifs about anxiety about the future. What if I don't give Chloe the high school education that she deserves? What if I don't prepare Neil enough for the seminary? What if I can't teach Latin, right? And so I have decided that the story I'm telling about myself this year is that I'm an awesome homeschool mom. I'm a homeschool mom that knows my children. I know myself. I have tools in my toolbox to help my children be regulated, to help calm them down if they get dysregulated. I know where the possible road bumps are at this point with both my children. I have a 9th grader who's more and more independent every single day and wants to do school. She asked to start a week early, and we got her started on her independent work. And it's been amazing watching her blossom. She goes into her room for 2 hours and she knocks out her subjects, but she's like giving it the time. The CMEC is all about a time block and giving 30 minutes for Bible and giving 40 minutes for history and allowing yourself time to read and process and mull over and narrate and draw and think about it some more. And that time, it's finally clicking for her that giving herself that time is the work that I can't do for her. And then with Neil, like, I'm not ready yet. Like, I mean, if we were to start tomorrow, I would be scrambling and trying to figure out what we're working on. And yet I'm choosing this year to walk moment by moment with him. We are going to backtrack math all the way back to the basics. Can we do addition? Can we do subtraction? Can we do multiplication? Can we do simple division? And then we're going to work on long division. And you know what? He's in 6th grade. And so that might be startling for some of you to be, wait, why is he not just now learning 6th grade? He's learning long division. Well, that's just where he's at. And instead of like walking in fear with, I need to catch him up, or, he's always going to struggle in math, we are just going to do some math. And I'm going to allow it to be what it is and allow him to be where he is. And that is one of the beautiful things about homeschooling. And so rather than focusing on the fear and the control and the anxiety and the dysregulation that comes with all that, I want to really focus on the atmosphere. Charlotte Mason says that our homeschool is a atmosphere, a discipline, and a life. And I worked a lot on the discipline in the past, and I've allowed the life to kind of take over sometimes and set aside the readings and set aside the lessons. And this year, I really want to, one, stay true to our timetable as best we can. I have some flexibility in there. I made a morning basket, but if we cannot wake up early for whatever reason that morning, because we're supposed to start at 8, which is a bit early for some homeschoolers, I'm going to shift it to an afternoon tea time. And I still will know what's in that hour block, and we're just going to shift it. And that'll be okay. That'll be okay. And some days it might not happen, but most days it will. And so I want to work on being true to my timetable, and also just being really gentle with my self-talk and trusting that God is in each moment, and I don't need to rush. I don't need to rush through my day. I don't need to check the boxes. If I need an extra cup of tea, I can stop and make the tea. If someone's upset, they can take a 5-minute break. And we can just walk through our timetable with grace and joy. Because you guys, it's a blessing to homeschool. I know so many mothers who wish they could homeschool, but they can't because they have to work, or their husbands say no, or even heartbreakingly, they feel like they're not capable, which I believe every mother is capable of homeschooling. If God calls you to homeschool, you can homeschool. And the other thing that I've really done this year, more so than any other year, is I've set aside, one, the comparison, but two, looking at other curriculum. Now, I think I've done other videos in the past, lately in the last year, about how we have chosen the CMEC, and I have devoted myself to the CMEC. This is our 4th year. The first 3 years, I would say I was doing the CMEC and they warn you and they say don't do that. I still did that. And then I would feel like I can't, I would have all these negative thoughts. I can't do this. This is too hard. This is too complicated. This is too much. How could anyone do this? I don't want to spend my whole day homeschooling, which you don't. Anyway, but now I've surrendered. I've stopped looking at the other beautiful curriculums, and I'm like, this is why we have chosen Charlotte Mason. This is why we've chosen the CMEC. 2 out of the 3 leaders that I know of are Catholic. They're using the CMEC's material, which is mostly the material from Charlotte Mason's time, mostly. And they have graduated Catholic children from this homeschool. I do not need to have an overtly Catholic curriculum where every single thing talks about our faith, because my children are very much rooted in what their faith is, and we still weave in, and the CMEC weaves in Catholic content. And so while it's not an explicitly Catholic curriculum, I do trust the founders, and that's a huge, and the leaders, and that's just a huge weight off my shoulders. And so with all that comes this idea of entering this homeschool year with hope. So you guys know that hope is one of the 3 theological virtues, right? Faith, hope, and charity. I've been reading Divine Intimacy, and recently, we're in charity now, hardcore. It's really good. But before that was hope, and hope taken to the next level is confidence. And I think we want to be not only hopeful homeschoolers and hoping in God's mercy and hoping in all that he says is true in the Bible about being our strength and taking our yoke and all the things, but also we want to have confidence in him and confidence in the grace he gives us through the sacraments to do this work. So I'm going to stand in confidence. I'm going to stand in hope. I'm going to stand in regulation and peace and joy and the atmosphere of the home and the present moment. And this is how I choose to start my homeschool year this year. And so I want to know, where are you at? Are you in fear or control or kind of that checking the box or just kind of, put your head down and gritting your teeth and getting through? Or have you found a lightness to your homeschooling, an ease to your homeschooling? We want to have easy days. And that doesn't mean we don't have diligent days. Doesn't mean we don't have days where we are asking a lot of ourselves and our children. And yet, like Jesus says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And the more I surrender my homeschool to him to fill in the gaps while doing my best, asking for fortitude and diligence on my part, the more I understand that Bible verse. So yeah, let me know. Where are you at? When are you starting? We officially start September 4th. We're going to kind of ease our way in with our usual. I do a little interview with the children. I may film it this year because I just think it's so sweet when you watch those videos of the dad and he's filming the video. We're going to do first day of school pictures. And the other thing I did, and I can talk about this another day, but I actually was able to finagle, at least I'm hoping, a 4-day school week. So the only things that are on the agenda for Friday is, I think, French or Latin, I can't remember which one, and maybe a hymn. Otherwise, we have it open for it can either be a flex day It can be a catch-up day, or it can be like a field trip day or a visit a friend's day. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have this day, like to have a 4-day school week. And as far as I can tell, I'm fitting it all in. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, I want to know more about you and where your homeschool's at, what year homeschool you're at. But mostly, like, what are your thoughts telling you about this homeschool year? And can we change those thoughts? Can we take our thoughts captives and choose a new story to tell? Because what is the story that you want to tell this homeschool year? All right, guys. Pax Christi. Love you. Bye.